guys, so I spent lots of today finally working on my Hogwarts MOC. I haven't worked on it for like a good week and a half, I feel like. And in that time, I have made a few more bricklink orders and got a few more bricks and pieces. Speaking of bricks and pieces, my bricks and pieces order actually arrived, which was very handy. So I spent some time today finally building upon things. And I went through a lot of your suggestions as well, as I wanted to see what you guys thought I should put in my MOC. And there was so many good suggestions. And thank you guys so much for that. You've honestly like saved some of the rooms. I also got a question asking if I am going to like adjust all the new sets as well, and the short answer to that is yes. While I don't want to touch any of the exterior of the new sets, as I love the way they look, that's mainly why I buy them, is because the exterior is beautiful. It's the interior I have a problem with. But even on display, like I'm not gonna see it too often, but I at least want to know that it looks nice inside, which is kind of what I did today. I spent some time working on the Great Hall, and currently that one's looking the best. I haven't touched the astronomy tower yet, and I've done a tiny bit of the clock tower, but not really much. So let me show you. Here are all of the rooms that I've kind of done a little update to in my Hogwarts MOC. I spent a lot of time doing it today, and even still, I've still got so much more to do and so many more bricks I need to order, but it's coming together nicely, and I'm really proud of how good it looks so far. There's definitely rooms that still need improving, but honestly, so far, I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. So there are a lot of rooms to get through in this video, so I'm going to start with the ones I showed you in the first Hogwarts MOC update, and if you haven't seen that video, click the card in the top right hand corner and it will take you to that so you can see how this pretty much all started. So first, let's take a look at Umbridge's office and the Hufflepuff common room, because there have been a few changes to that. So first up is the Hufflepuff common room, and I'm going to need to get some better light in here. So opening the bit of the MOC up, you can see that the Hufflepuff common room is not too different, really. The only things I've changed on this set is I swapped out this little flower piece here for a darker purple one, and I also added some more plants to the wall at the back. So if I move the back of the couch out the way, you'll get to see the wall a bit better. This wall at the back, I've just added some small flowers to the bottom there and a little carrot top, as well as this sprout piece into the wall with a little flower on the top, and one of the old school flowers in a dark pink with one of the newer green ones behind it. I think those additional flowers really just make this so much better, and even though you can't see that blue one from the front, you can see it by looking down through the top. So that's all I've really changed about the Hufflepuff common room. I've also put more bricks into the tops, and now the exterior is done too. Moving on up to a lot of people's favorite rooms, we have Umbridge's office, and just like the Hufflepuff common room, there aren't too many changes with this. I've done more of the carpet though, and I've put these corner pieces there, and all I'm missing now is that bright pink flat tile, and I'm finding it so hard to get my hands on. I'm honestly debating buying the Minecraft Big Fig Pig so I can take one of the tiles and stick it there. Now, I'm also in the process of finishing the roof, so I finally came up with a plan today. So what I'm going to do is get some 3x3 corner pieces to stick here, which is why I've got these 3x2 plates at the top, and then I'll get a 2x10 to go across here and another 1x10 to complete off the roof, and then I've also got a cone piece to stick at the top. I also just need to put a few 1x1s here to complete the sides, but other than that, the Umbridge's office is completely done. The Charms classroom also hasn't changed too much besides losing some 1x1 bricks on the exterior so that I could finish off Umbridge's office and the Gryffindor Tower. Other than that, the only thing I've added is a 1x4 brick with some cheese slopes at the top to create a chair, as you learn Wingardium Leviosa in the first year, so it's only going to be first year students with the short legs standing there. I also added an extra book to the top of Flitwick's stack, but yeah, that's about it for this building. In the Dumbledore's office section, the only thing that's really changed at the bottom level is now we have some potion stacks. So you can't quite see them too well because of the roof of it, but there are some nice potion bottles all using translucent pieces and a mixture of studs and gems at the top to kind of round it off. I think this looks really cute here, and I kind of want to add some more to the other side and make it real dungeon-like. Coming up, we then have Dumbledore's office, which once again hasn't really changed at all too much. The only thing that has changed here is that all four of these memory vial things are now the same height. I added an extra 1x1 brick, and I also changed this round piece to gold to match the rest of it. At the back as well, I've also added some extra tan pillars. I think it looks a lot better with two rather than just one. The main change for this building though is we now have a roof. I finally ordered some roof pieces, and I'm so glad with how this looks. All I need to do now is change these green slopey bits at the front. The only thing I need to do with the roof is get a 2x2 brick to sit here so that the roof has more support. The last building that's had a lot of work done since I last showed it to you is the Gryffindor Tower. It now has 3 full floors. One of the floors that has changed the most is the empty corridor. Now I've pushed these pieces out and given it more space around the sides, and inside I have Moaning Myrtle's sink, which you probably can't tell what it is because it's half built. Now the sink design is inspired by Lego Harry Potter 12 on Instagram. I saw this build and it looked perfect, and especially for the scale that I'm going for, I think it just is gonna work amazing. I also had quite a lot of the pieces in my collection. I'm just missing a few tap heads and some inverted slopes, but for the most part it's all done. So I'll show you some of the photos of what it's supposed to look like. There's also instructions on his Instagram page if you want to build it for yourself. One thing I did though to make this sink even better is that I put it on some grates, because of course underneath this sink is the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets, so I wanted to have some drains here, and I didn't have enough, so I just put some tiles at the back and a black 2x4 to put the sink on top of. And I put this at the bottom level as I want to add a lot more bones and skeleton arms to the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a green snake in there as well, which is just clipped on, as that will be that like first area of the Chamber of Secrets where they land after they've fallen through the tunnel. On the exterior, I've added some plants to the outside just to kind of spruce it up a bit more. I really want to add some more, but I need to order some more to get them to fit properly, otherwise it would just be a lot of flowers sitting around here. Taking the top layer off, you can see that we have the Gryffindor common room. I've finally finished all of the exterior for this, and I think it's looking really good. I've also made the whole thing stand 1 brick higher, which honestly I think benefits it a lot. You have a lot more room to move around. Because of that, I added 1x1 cheese slopes to the top here, and I also added the chessboard from the 2019 advent calendar and just put it on a round 2x2 brick. I've also started making a couch, although I could not get all of the pieces that I wanted when I placed one bricklink order, so I need to order some more. Then on top, we have the Gryffindor dormitories. So popping the top off here, you can have a better look at the Gryffindor dormitories, and this one turned out pretty good in my opinion. I still feel like it could be better, but I don't think I'm gonna have much space to add too much more. I had a lot of suggestions for this room, so thank you all for commenting. I had a lot of people say I should try and put the trunks at the end of the bed, so I made some brick built ones as I didn't want to have one giant one since there's 2 beds. And then someone said to put Hedwig and Scabbers in, so I've done just that and put them at the end of the trunks. I also added a brown frog to the front, which is meant to represent Trevor. And then I took the socks out of the 2010 burrow and put 2 of them on the floor, as I feel like the Gryffindor common room is not going to be the cleanest of places. I also took someone else's suggestion of putting a lamp there, so I've just put that on the wall. I really wanted to add the little spires. Someone said to like do those canopy things above the beds, and I still feel like I'm gonna try that. I feel like that would be like the final best touch to do for this room. One of the rooms I definitely spent the most time on kind of perfecting is the greenhouse. Now, I've just updated the 2007 greenhouse. I'm not too sure if this is going to go on my shelf downstairs or if it's just going to stay in my room where it is usually. Either way, I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. Now, a lot of the choices I've made for this section came from Pro Lego Maxima on Instagram. They've done this amazing Hogwarts MOC, which is pretty much what inspired me to make this, as they're using a lot of the Harry Potter sets, combining them together, like buying duplicates and building up and landscaping and just making this amazing MOC. And pretty much this MOC is the budget version of that for people who, you know, can't build very well. That's what I'm here for. So on the left-hand side at the front, we have some of the mushrooms from Hagrid's hut, and there's another one inside. I finally got the correct colored leaves for these mandrake heads, so that makes me really happy and they look a lot better. I also kind of spruced up this little section over here, added a little flower behind that barrel there. There's also another flower underneath that table. And my favorite addition of all is this nice flower pot. Now I stuck 2 of those like branch things on top of each other and then just added a bunch of different flowers. There's also another flower on top there, and I moved the microscope over to this side because on the right hand side there is now some scissors. At the back I added the additional mandrake barrel with just a round 2x4 on the top and then stuck some plants coming out of there. We've also got a lime green leaf under the table here and a pink flower at the top, as well as a purple one on the table, and I've got one of my Neville Herbology figures just pulling out the mandrakes. At the front we've got some brown jumpers where there's a sprout coming out and a weed hanging out the top here and another flower pot. I've also added some green cheese slope pieces that I had as spares to the side to kind of be some plants and another flower here. Definitely one of the weaker additions that needs a lot of work is McGonagall's office. So I took the beds out of this to add to my Gryffindor dormitory, and I liked the Gryffindor sticker in the back and I didn't really want to swap that piece out. So I've made this McGonagall's office as she is head of Gryffindor house. So I've given her a little golden quill thing here, a table and a chair and one of the Hogwarts letters. And on the side here, I had a bit of space and I didn't really know what to do with it, so I've hung up the Slytherin banner, as underneath we have some more of the dungeons with some potions bottles in the back here. That's just basically the Whomping Willow build. Now also, my section of the Whomping Willow build is attached to the clock tower. Now the clock tower is no different. I literally haven't changed anything here besides putting a brown owl at the top. That's about it. And the last building I've done some modifications to is the clock tower. So the first thing I've done is stick the 2010 silver statue at the back there, and then moving up a level is where I've decided to put the trophy cabinet. And the main reason I decided to put this here is I had these long brown plates from the 2010 Hogwarts from where the Great Hall is. So I thought I'll make a trophy cabinet and kind of incorporate the one from that set using the Seeker James Potter logo. I also have a silver micro figure from the soccer player from the CMF series, and then I've just put like the Quidditch trophy from the Quidditch match set and a bunch of goblets. This one's standing up on a stud. Same with this one, just to kind of create some height differentiation and kind of make it more exciting. I also love how cluttered and like full this room looks. And then at the top, we have a very basic divination room. I've just got some round dark brown 2x2s here to be seats, and then I've got my red divination table table with a glass ball at the top with an orange cone piece in the middle. I've also got a table in the corner with a teapot and a cup because they do tea leaf reading, and that's about it for this side of the tower. In the Great Hall itself, there really hasn't been too many changes either. I've just added a few more goblets and pieces of food like the pie from the advent calendar or a cookie and a croissant and just things like that. I also added an extra goblet to the teacher's table, but my favorite addition is the house point system. Now this is something I distinctly remember from like the Order of the Phoenix game and like the set tour and even the ride for Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So what I did is I went back through all my set tour photos and tried to find out what order it is, and then I just used my spare translucent studs. I did not have many green ones, so Slytherin is losing, unfortunately. And I also don't have an extra 2 round gold tiles to kind of top it off. So that's kind of missing at the moment. But other than that, I think it fits really nicely there in that little gap against the wall and really adds something to this set. So that is the completed Hogwarts MOC so far. Let me know if there are any rooms you think I should add. I really want to do the kitchens at some point and do a fully fledged potions room. I think that would be really cool, as well as a Slytherin common room, as that's the only one I'm missing if you technically count the Ravenclaw common room from the astronomy tower. And let me know if there are any improvements you think I could make as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.